Welcome back to the course on Java programming. This is Module 5, Event-Driven Programming. Here, so far, we have studied the various concepts of object-driven programming by using our Java language. Now, I want to create some graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. So through graphical user interface only, we can easily communicate with the outside world. For that, we need a GUI. In Java, we have so many packages. Among the packages for creating this graphical user interfaces, we have this abstract windowing toolkit. Abstract windowing toolkit. Okay, this is a package which is used to create graphical user interface. Okay, here I have one front screen. I can set the front screen. In the screen, I can put the different components like your text box, label, button, etc. Okay, here I can create this GUI. Then I'm going to add this action listener. For example, here we have mouse. Whenever you're clicking the mouse, what will be happen? Okay, that is normally called event-driven programming. The mouse click, that is a event. Okay, otherwise we can do the button press like this. A button press. So, for example, in the component, we can add one button. Whenever you're pressing the button, what will be happen? So we are telling no after the event, after doing the event, what will happen? That is called event-driven programming. For creating these components, we have the entire thing in our AWT. So inside the AWT, we have a sub package that is called event. Okay, from the event, we can have the different listeners available. Here I'm going to demonstrate a simple uh, event-driven programming. For that, here I am showing this on simple program action demo. Okay, here I have created one Java file. Okay, the Java file here I need aw.event.action listener. Okay, this listener only going to listen what kind of activity the user is doing. Then we need this action event. Okay, both sub packages that is available under the event, under the event only we have this action listener and action event. Then to create the component at the screen, we need this AWT. In the AWT, we have a frame class, then a button class. All the components in this AWT keep it as button. Sorry, classes. Now see this class action demo extends frame. So this is a frame is my super class which is available under AWT. Then implements action listener. So action listener that is the interface available under sub package event because I put the keyword implements. See this, this is one class. This is another interface. From these two classes, I am having one subclass. So it is kind of multiple inheritance because I am having two parent classes, one subclass. Okay, for this reason only we studied multiple inheritance. So now inside this main method, I am create an object of this one, OB object equal to new action demo, then object dot make GUI. I am writing one function called make GUI. In the make GUI, I am creating the button. Okay, this object then new button click. So we have one button. Above the button, we have the text called click. Then the size for the button now 200 100. Then its location. Okay, in the frame, I'm going to locate in the x-axis 200 pixels, then y-axis 200 pixels. Set visible true. Then I'm adding this button with that corresponding frame. Then I'm adding that action listener. When I click here, I'm going to click no. For that, I'm going to do the action. So to sense the action, we need this action listener. I'm adding the action listeners in this button. So this is a method. So what happened now? Here, whenever you are clicking the button which is available on the frame, we are going to call this action performed method. Inside the action performed method, I put the system.out button click, yeah, it is working. So I printed one message. So here system.out, that is nothing but our monitor. So in the monitor, I am going to print the message button clicked. Yeah, it's working. So this is the thing. We are going to have one frame in that I am placed one button. The above the button I written click. When you click the button, it is going to call the method action performed. Okay, it is going to print button clicked in your command prompt. Now we are going to run this program. So this is a very simple program. Suppose we need some other button, you can add it. Okay, we have a text field, we have a label, text area. Okay, we have checkbox, label box. Okay, we have so many components available. What are the components you need for your GA? You can do that. Now you are familiar about this program. So in the AWT package only, we have these components through the AWT package. We have created we have pasted the components. Then when we click that button, what will be happen? For that is nothing but our event-driven programming. For that, I need the action listener. Through the action listener, we are calling this action performed method. Inside our action performed method, we are writing what it is going to be print. So this is a simple program. Now I'm going to run the program. So for this, okay, now I close this. To run the program, we need command prompt. Whether you can run this program in the command prompt, otherwise in your NetBeans. So here I have a folder Java. If you this know, okay, here I'm having action demo. So before that, I need to set the path. Set path equals. Go to your this dot. Okay, here I have C drive. Under the C drive, we have a program files. Then we have a Java. Inside the Java, we have JDK bin. Okay, here I need to copy the path and paste here. So I set the path. Now I'm going to compile this program. Java C action demo dot Java. So it's compiled. Now I'm going to run the program. So once you run the program, it is opening like this. See, this is our screen. Okay, in the screen, I placed one button. Placed one button. Then button name is click. Once I click, it is going to call this. It is going to call this action performed. In the action performed, I put system.out.println. That is nothing but our console. So now I click. It is going to print button click. Yeah, it is working. So this is a thing. So whenever you're clicking, it is going to print what we are giving our logic. So the same thing we can do in our screen itself. Okay, we have a paint method. So using paint method also we can do the corresponding display in our screen. Okay, this is normally called event-driven programming. Here I am clicking the button, click. Okay, I'm clicking the button. No, that is our event. Through the event, we are doing some program. Okay, this is the meaning of event-driven programming. Here I have taken only simple component. Okay, here I clicked only that simple component. Okay, if you want, you can have different things. For example, we need this text box. Okay, how to write text field, new text field like this. Okay, here we can mention the size of how many number of characters you want to give. Okay, here normally we are using this text field for our getting the input. So now, okay, if you again run this program, okay, now I need to close this. Okay. So this is the thing. Now I'm going to compile the program again. Okay, here we have text field TF error cannot find symbol. Okay, here I missed that. Text field TF equal to new text field, add TF. So this is a way of doing adding this component, adding the component. Whatever the component you need, okay, you can take the corresponding component and create the object. Everything keep it as a class. Then we can add the corresponding. We can create the object, then add the object with our screen. Okay, here there are more ways to create this. Here I use the AWT instead of AWT. This is normally called heavyweight component. Okay, whenever you are creating the component, when you go for a different platform, the appearance may be differ. Okay, to avoid that, okay, we have alternative swing. Okay, swing is a lightweight component. Okay, by using the swing, we can create the same kind of activity in our AWT. So it is a lightweight component. Okay, the appearance should not, the appearance may should be similar for all the platforms. That's why people nowadays preferring for Swing. That is a package available in Java Extended. Okay, these are the things about your event-driven programming. So this is our end of our uh, Java course. Now you have some idea about this Java programming. Okay, if you have any queries, please write to the smile. Okay, immediately I will give the answer for your query. So it's enough for our Java program. Now you have little bit idea about the Java programming. Everything is available in the YouTube. That is, I have created my own channel. In that channel, you can see all the videos what we have taught so far. Same kind of course available for our Python also. Thank you.